Long before weather apps, rain could become deadly. At first, it looked like normal rain. The rain did not stop. Small puddles became streams, and streams ran toward the river. The river started growing. But ancient humans had no flood warning. They had to read the signs. First sign, the water turned muddy. Muddy water meant something upstream was changing. Second sign, animals moved higher. If animals climbed, humans followed. But some camps were too close to water. Water could reach them while they slept, so low ground became dangerous. The first rule was simple: climb, not later, because floods could move faster than feet. They grabbed only what mattered. Fire was one of them. Fire hated water, so they kept embers covered. Food was next. Too much weight slowed them down, so they carried small, dry bundles. Tools mattered too. A sharp stone could save time, but heavy tools stayed behind. Children moved first. Strong adults watched the back. They tested every step, because muddy water hid holes, and fast water could knock them down. So they avoided rushing water. Floating logs were another warning. If trees moved, the water was powerful. Valleys filled first, so ridges became safer paths. From high ground they could see danger and choose where not to go. When the rain finally stopped, the danger wasn't over. Fast water was still searching for new paths. Old paths disappeared beneath the flood. So every journey became a new journey. Finding safe ground became a daily habit. Soon they learned to remember every flood. Those marks became silent teachers. The next camp was built much higher. Every survivor remembered the sound, because nature always gave a warning. Parents shared these lessons with every child. Knowledge became their greatest shelter. Season after season, they watched the rivers. Every flood left behind a lesson. The smartest survivors always prepared first. Waiting was the biggest mistake. Moving early saved lives. Those lessons spread from tribe to tribe. That's how experience became survival. And that's one reason humans survived the world's greatest floods. Days later, the floodwater finally began to fall. But the land looked completely different. Old camps had disappeared, so they searched for a better home. This time they chose the highest ground. The river was close enough to help, but far enough to stay safe. Soon, life returned to normal, but nobody forgot the Great Flood, because the next storm could come at any time. Floods still follow the same rules. Water always searches for the lowest ground. That is why high ground is always safer. Waiting is the biggest mistake. Move before the water does. Nature gives warnings first. The smartest people notice them. The luckiest people act on them. That simple habit saved generations, because survival belonged to those who prepared. The flood was finally behind them. The land had completely changed. Old paths had disappeared. New rivers had appeared. Everything had to be explored again. Fresh water became easier to find. Plants slowly returned. Soon, animals came back too. Life always found a way. And every flood became another lesson. The survivors never forgot that flood. Each generation added something new. Their knowledge became survival, not because they were stronger, but because they were prepared. Nature always gives clues. The question is, would you notice them? Because one decision could change everything. And that's how ancient humans survived the world's deadliest floods. The flood finally began to slow. But the danger wasn't over. The ground had become soft. Every step still mattered. Then they searched for fresh water. Dirty flood water could make them sick. Only after the river settled did they return. Nature had changed everything, and they never forgot its lesson. Because survival belonged to the prepared. Preparation always beat panic. The river finally slowed. The danger was passing. They waited a little longer. Only then did they return. They rebuilt together. The flood became a lesson. They never forgot it. And that's how ancient humans survived floods. Even after the flood state. Fresh mud could swallow your feet, so they stepped on rocks whenever possible. They checked the caves before entering. If water had reached inside, they found another shelter. Safe water became the next challenge. Flood water carried too much dirt. They searched for fresh springs. Flowing water was usually the better choice. They filled their containers before moving again. But food wouldn't last forever, so they searched for fresh plants. The flood had left fertile ground. Animals slowly returned too. That meant hunting could begin again. But safety came before hunting. The ground still hid surprises. Fresh footprints told new stories. Some animals had found new homes, so humans adapted too. Years passed, but nobody forgot the Great Flood. Every family remembered where the safest ground always was. Children copied every survival habit they saw adults use. Stories carried knowledge farther than any written map could. Every flood taught people something they never forgot again. Nature always warned those willing to watch carefully. A calm river could still become dangerous without warning. Fast water was respected, never treated like a small stream. Being ready mattered far more than being the strongest. Those simple lessons helped ancient families survive for generations. Floods were dangerous, but nature had many more surprises. Each season tested survival in a completely different way. Survival always rewarded those who stayed alert every day. Nature almost always gave small warnings before real danger. The clues were easy to miss if nobody looked carefully. Experience made every future decision faster and much smarter. Even small mistakes taught lessons people never repeated again. Working together made every challenge much easier to survive. Knowledge protected people better than any weapon ever could. Those lessons shaped how humans survived for thousands of years.